Hello, internets.
Hello.
We are in the
Being
other
invaded
world.
by the other world.
By a world of someone's nightmarish delusions coming to life.
That's right, this is where we left off.
Damn it, Johnny! Quit playing that gong.
Again.
No, I'm in this place again.
It's interesting that I like that the otherworld music is usually stuff that is entirely not instruments.
Yes.
It's like a weird ambience and then occasionally like a synthesizer or a drone or something.
Hey, I actually recently got into the history of weird synthesized ambient noise
jeez.
music.
Hello.
Oh, hello,
Hi.
Lemon Blossom Girl.
Mummy-like thing in the wheelchair is just a doll.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Why does it make you uneasy?
Oh, and also this scene with the wheelchair is a direct reference to Session 9.
Yep, it really
Yes, it
is.
What'd you get there?
Oh, nice. Look at that.
I think I got a health drink.
Looked like shotgun shells.
Baby,
It might have
take
been.
this
I
baby.
get health crunk.
Yeah, I gotta take my Fago showers. Rub myself down with all that health.
Fucking miracles, yo.
We get our first view of the Slurper.
Yeah.
Well, I guess our second view. One of them
Yeah.
was underneath a bridge. So we're just gonna avoid that mess for as long as we can.
Okay. The music is like, no, wait, come back.
Oh, there's something here.
There's something here. Kill her?
Maybe?
I'm Ron Burgundy?
The instructions are unclear.
Oh, shit. Indeed.
Literally anyone but me.
Oh yes.
It's locked.
Yup.
Who's this douchebag?
I'm Leon Kennedy.
Fuck!
That's what you're called now, isn't it?
And who are you?
The name's Vincent. Don't forget it, okay?
Your right hand comes
I'm
off?
on your side.
You wanna be my love
You
interest?
say, but how do I know
This
you're
isn't
not
the
my
movie.
Hey, it's that dog.
You mean Claudia? Please don't lump me together with her. She was totally brainwashed by that crazy old hag. Well, I guess crazy old hag is a bit harsh. She is your mother, after all.
My mother? What do you mean?
How many interpretations
Don't
are there of
remember?
that?
Ah,
Now?
so Harry didn't tell you anything. I guess he hid the truth to keep you on his side. And
3?
that figures. He's a pretty sneaky guy.
Don't talk about my dad like that!
Yeah,
Sorry.
fuck yeah.
I
Fuck him up.
apologize. Please, calm down.
How do you know my father anyway?
I know everything.
That's it, I'm putting on the bulletproof
I
vest.
know about your past, too.
Then tell me what's going on.
You don't know even that?
That's why I'm asking. If you know everything, then tell me how I can put an end to this.
Not yet. Why not enjoy yourself a bit longer?
Enjoy? I feel like I'm going crazy. Does this place get to you at all?
Oh, it gets to me all right. I find it most fascinating. Wait! I'm not finished talking!
I knew you were on her side.
How do you figure?
something wrong with you too.
Just one thing, though. Clearly not many.
Wait, you haven't acknowledged how smart I am. Didn't you see my glasses and vest?
Oh yeah, so we got the Oxydol and a lot of items.
I'm done with these shelves.
So anyway, that was our introduction to Vincent.
Vincent.
Vincent, in most media, Vincent only has one name. Unlike Heather Mason or Claudia Wolf or Douglas Cartland, Vincent is just Vincent, except in the manga where he gets the surname Smith. He also, I believe, gets a different surname in the. So if you pour diluted hydrogen peroxide on manganese dioxide, then it turns into it has a high chance of starting a fire. It creates a lot of oxygen.
A lot of chemistry-based stuff in this game. He is named Vincent Smith in the novel. Everything else refers to him as Vincent except for the movie, but let's not talk about the movie.
Just not.
Yeah, where he's
Except
made into a love interest. He's got really bad teeth. One of his pupils is always larger than one of the other ones. If you notice, all of the time he speaks, his mouth like hyper articulates. He has a lot of expressions.
He's very dramatic.
He also has a lazy eye.
Yeah.
And his appearance is based on Ethan Hawke.
Yep.
He is named for Vincent Gallo, reflecting his unshaven appearance. This is a story brought to me by James. That in 2003, Vincent Gallo, the character, the actor on which Vincent is named, started and directed the film The Brown Bunny, which chronicles a motorcycle racer's cross-country trip, co-starring Chloe Sevigny. The film, which contained a scene of Sevigny performing unsimulated oral sex upon Gallo, received an overwhelmingly negative critical response in the Cannes premiere and became a media scandal, in part due to Gallo's usage of a still image from a sex scene on a promotional billboard. According to Andrea Levasseur of AllMovie, The Brown Bunny premiered to much derision at the 2003 Cannes Film Festival. In 2003, regarding the film, Roger Ebert's statement, The Brown Bunny was the worst film in the history of Cannes. Gallo retorted by calling Ebert a fat pig with the physique of a slave trader and put a hex on Ebert, wishing him colon cancer. Ebert then responded, paraphrasing a statement made by Winston Churchill, that although I am fat, I will one day be thin, but Gallo will still have been the director of The Brown Bunny.
Jeez.
That's a really good story, though.
Yeah.
And I kind of talked over our first like for reals encounter with the Slurper. So the Slurper is that thing that crawls around on the ground that in the weird bondage gear.
And Heather just decided she had had enough of that and lay down for a little while.
Yeah. No, they're a bitch because all of their attacks have knockdown, and then they can hit you when you're on the ground.
Yeah, they're very low.
So there's a lot of different symbolism for the Slurpers. One of them comes back to how how a lot of Heather's appearance, that the Slurpers, some speculation is for them representing junkies, kind of sucking what they can off of the ground. Although it's kind of a broad claim, it doesn't really fit too well into the central theme. But one of the other things is that they are very clearly male figures. They knock Heather down, pin her to the floor, and attack her.
Which is fascinating because we first see one right where we first meet Vincent.
Indeed. And there's also a number of others. There's also slurping and knocking Heather down and trying to drain her of bodily fluids. Can also be associated with the suction aspiration method of removing an aborted or miscarried fetus. And they bear a combat strategy not unlike the lying figures from Silent Hill 2. In fact, that was their big inspiration, is that when you knock down the lying figures, they moved around faster and more unpredictably.
They made the worst noises.
Just like the Slurpers.
So we're going to have to talk about it. Might as well talk about it now. In the film, that character is cast as Heather's love interest.
Yes, he's
Yep.
Yes, it's mild spoilers. That does not happen in this game, if you could not tell. Vincent is considerably older than Heather in the game, whereas in the movie, he is a high school student. He kind of ends up taking the place of one of the other characters in this game because it's Hollywood, and Hollywood sees a woman and finds the only plot for her to be that she must find a man.
Yep.
Well, also, too, Twilight was very big at the time, and he was very much an Edward character.
Yeah, no, he's beashy as fuck.
Like, right down to having, like, a tortured past, and, like,
A
don't look at me.
literal tortured past.
Don't look at me! And then just, like, don't look at me!
My name is Vincenzo.
So yes, there are some things that are changed in the film that oh yeah, I think we're back to the or no, we're not back to the art gallery yet.
And, like,
But
Claudia
there-
is his
there-
mother.
Yeah, so here it's shown that he knows who Claudia is, and that is enough gives the implication that he's also part of this whole huge grand scheme. So in the movie, he is the chosen one for the task.
You have been chosen!
Yes, and literally he says, I was chosen, and then there's a flashback showing this mark being imprinted on him with Claudia yelling, you have been chosen. So yeah, these things are a pain in the dick because they have all of the worst moves of every monster in the game.
Yep. You got another one behind you, too.
By the way,
And also
confirmed.
they're also really hard to hit, especially in a panic situation.
Yeah.
They're really hard to hit in a panic situation because if you push a directional button while holding in the attack button, that will make Heather do a thrust, which will miss
Right.
them. Because Heather picked the wakizashi and not the far superior katana.
Oh, no.
So confirmed. One of the companies on this floor is just called Water Glass.
Yeah, I think we pointed that out
Waterglass
last
company.
time.
Yeah, but now it's confirmed because you never looked at that floor's map again after I noticed it.
Oh right.
I wonder what they make there.
Because I knew where I was going.
It's probably a glass company.
Also, this
Or
is
water
I love
company.
the fucking like fuck you in this room that they just play this sound and like there's a million of them, but they're behind a wall and they can never attack you.
Yeah, please leave.
It's not quite as bad as the fucking insane cancer that is right next to you when you open a door.
Time to go.
Oh yeah, and then there's just a lit cigarette in this room.
Get away from
yeah.
me, Nathan Drake.
Well, no, I mean, I quit for good. Clearly, just imagine Vincent, like, sitting in here and having a light smoke and enjoying his stroll through Nightmare Land.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about Vincent in this is like how he's such a like very different character from everybody else.
Yeah, he's exceedingly blasé.
That's it.
That's the Session 9 reference right there.
Yes, it is. It's wonderful.
The music is even similar to what is going on in Session 9 at the time.
Actually, if Vincent smoked that cigarette, he probably smoked it before you went into Otherworld. Just
Yeah.
time-wise, considering how far away spatially he is from it now.
Oh yeah, so we're going to be returning to the art gallery here very soon.
Because now we know how to
So
make fire.
remember, this first painting was called The Repressor of Memories.
Mm-hmm. And there's a save point on it.
It was a painting that we could not understand in the other world.
Mm-hmm. And now we do.
Yeah.
A
Caption under the picture.
Flame purifies all. Here is the puzzle.
So, James, to answer your question earlier, I think there's 3 different incarnations now of the story of Heather and her father. Because there's Silent Hill 1 and 3, which supposedly is following one canon.
And then
Right.
Shattered
Then
Memories.
there's Shattered Memories, yeah.
Which is
A retelling of
Right, of
the
one
first game.
from Heather, right.
Featuring a man who is not a psychologist.
Picture.
Yeah, that's right.
And a game that is not a story.
And then there's the film.
Right.
Films.
The films.
Honestly, going back after watching the second film, I find that I like the first one a lot more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't know
well,
if
I mean,
it's just
yeah.
because I'm putting them together or if it's genuine, if I like it's genuinely a good film. But I think I have more of a positive opinion of it now than I originally did.
Man, if you had to eat nothing but shit and then I handed you some uncooked meat, you would genuinely enjoy that uncooked meat.
All right, you got me there.
If you had to breathe nothing but carbon monoxide and suddenly I gave you some nitrogen, I mean, you'd still be dead.
Yeah. We're dead either way there.
Yeah, but at least at the end, you feel happy instead of like having crazy hallucinations
Yes.
and vomiting. That was the thing
Which
from
is
a
essentially
from
what
a,
I felt
from
when
a very
watching that
recent from the most recent episode of This American Life that was posted in time for Halloween. They did a rebroadcast of the of their episode. It came from the basement.
142536.
Yes, which is all true horror stories, and the one that started the one they led the show off with was interesting in that it followed a what was this? Oh yeah, so
Oh fuck.
and so we are now introduced to the glutton.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, this part makes me so uneasy.
This is the
Okay,
second.
if you call it that, I feel a little less bad about it.
Yeah, this is the second boss in the game. It is questionably a boss. It's like, I guess it's more of a puzzle, but I would refer to it as a boss.
Oh god, just that constant tone and
Yeah. You can hear the breathing. But yes, there was a story from a family around the turn of the last century, where they were all of them were noticing odd sounds in their house. People kept feeling things bump them in the night. They kept feeling strange pain. They felt like they were being watched all the time. And it had every indication of a classic haunted house story. And then I think there was a maintenance man came to their house and found that they actually had a loose gas line, and they were all just suffering carbon monoxide poisoning.
Jesus.
And apparently, with all the things that we know in the modern era, that's actually like carbon monoxide can cause all of those kinds of hallucinatory symptoms. And this was amplified at the time by the fact that in addition to like gas heating, the house also had things like gas lamps.
What?
The only thing in this fridge is liver. Liver
Check
known
the fridge.
apparently. Liver known apparently for its high amount of manganese, which,
Yep.
from what I know about liver, it is high in iron.
Tomato.
No, those are
No,
those
they're-
are different
they're-
elements, Manda. They are in distinctly different areas of the periodic table.
But
But-
manganese is a much less valuable chemical to the human body.
Is it in the tomato though?
No, you have there are antioxidants in the tomato.
So maybe a little bit of magnesium? I forget. Which is different from manganese.
Yes. One is Mg, one is Mn.
The superfruit. I don't know.
Gotta do something with it before it goes bad.
Hurry.
Also, I like that it is vacuum sealed.
Yeah.
I guess that way you well, I'd say Heather didn't have to put it in her pack, but I guess all she like I guess this is it's a nice thing from the that's the kind of weird buy-in we get, is that like we can accept a lot of things that Heather is just carrying around like 90 weapons in nothing.
Yeah.
She's not Travis.
No, but she is carrying a maul in hammer space somewhere. I guess I prefer this to Resident Evil 4's like fucking attaché case game.
Yeah. Impossible attaché case. Yeah.
Whatever. You just need to keep it maintenanced.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's impossible to use. I'm saying it's impossible space. He fits a fucking sniper rifle, an RPG, several different guns,
Sure does.
all the ammo, a bunch of flowers, and then where does the attaché case go? That's the thing
The
that's in
attaché case
impossible
goes into
space.
attaché space.
Look, Leon Kennedy has genius level IQ.
Yeah,
He can figure it out.
canon.
It is canon.
So
That's why he's a
interesting
bad enough
thing,
dude to protect the president's daughter.
There is no agreed upon explanation to why wheelchairs are scary. There's a
Would you
number.
say it's-
There's a number of theories.
I did not know they were an innately scary object.
They get used a lot in horror media.
I thought it was mostly Session 9 that sort of started that. Or no, it would have been Jacob's Ladder, because they used a lot of...
Jacob's Ladder started it, in movies at least.
Right. Some of the big theories are some of the big theories are it implies that there's someone around that needs protecting.
So you think it's more of a psychological and almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Not inherited, but
Sort of
like a learned...
primeval instinct.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's how we solve this. We're going to combine the liver, the hydrogen peroxide, and a match.
Yep.
Because when you pour the hydrogen peroxide on the liver, it creates a high amount of oxygen.
We're gonna
Burn our
purify the
fucking-
fuck out of this painting.
Gonna
Yeah.
burn our goddamn faces off.
Yeah, no. If you have not, just look up a video of dropping a match into fucking liquid oxygen. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Was it out of the question to just set the painting
Use a
on fire?
match.
I don't know. Maybe the painting was very robust. Also, was it not out of the question for us to use that knife we have to cut the painting open? Yeah, this is welcome to the crucifix of face.
Yep.
And then I get stuck
Crucifix.
in a railing.
Lots of babies in that picture.
I love it. It's very that's one of my favorite parts. I'm sad you didn't hang on it longer because it's just one of my favorite details of this game and the other world as a whole. It's very Francis Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
The priestess
Tried to convince it
accepted
with
the king's
words.
request and went to the village gates, but when she saw the monster, she tried to convince it with words instead of killing it. "Shut up, you! I'm going to eat you up!" The monster didn't listen to a word the princess said.
Priestess.
Oh yeah, but she kept trying to convince the monster to give up. "It's wrong to eat people, you know." The monster grew very angry with this and attacked her, killing her with a single mighty blow.
The end.
No beginning and no ending. I really didn't understand that story. So you just torn out from the middle of a book.
Why did I read that?
My favorite thing about Heather is in response to things being strange or, just off, she doesn't get scared. She gets fucking pissed.
Yeah, she gets infuriated by things not working or making sense.
Yeah.
Like, just
But it's
fuck
also,
this.
I also like the way that she gets angry because it's different than the way most video game people get angry about things.
Yeah, she's indignant. She's not just like murderous rage angry.
So here's where I start experimenting with some new styles to fight these things. And then I find out that it still doesn't quite work,
Yeah.
because these things are fucking bastards. I hate them.
Well, just look at their existence.
Yeah.
And also, they look like they also have this nice tendency of looking like they're dead and not actually being dead.
Yep. They look like anteaters.
Yeah, it's because of the mask on the front.
Yeah. I know, it's just really interesting.
Yeah, no, these things just fucking steamroll me.
You need like a grenade.
Yeah, I need something that is not any of the things I have. And then I just get my dome rocked.
just lay down
Just
and
fuck
take it.
this. I mean, that's the real symbolism there.
There we go, whatever. Nope.
Just run from them.
Yeah, just leave.
Well, the thing is, I'm gonna have to come back through this hallway.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Like, if it weren't for that fact, I would have just run through them, but I have to come back through here, and there's enough of them that I can't just juke them. Also, I like that every time you shoot them, there's a little bit of radio static.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that one came back to life suddenly.
Yay. Also, Heather's little, like, cries when they're attacking her are very effective.
Yeah, they found someone who is very good at sounding terrified and in pain.
Yep.
Briefly consider using the maul, realize I should use a weapon that does anything.
Yeah.
Especially since even the effective weapons are not doing me too much good here. And then the controls are also not helping.
I love how, like, the music is rhythmic with their fucking screaming. It's great.
Yeah. It's very,
It was
very
all
good
timed out
sound
very
design.
well.
Yes.
Matt, did you ever listen to any of those weird early ambient noise music tracks I sent you?
I listened to a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that were the kids were listening to for sound design class.
Yeah.
That I was like, that were like kind of like listening to, like, all of them were kind of like the final track from an Aphex Twin album.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which actually, a lot of that is in Space Funeral, which I didn't realize until I was like researching
Right, because most
it.
of Space Funeral is made by the Radiophonic Workshop.
Yeah, and the Radiophonic Workshop were some of the pioneers of like electronic ambient music like this.
Yeah, I remember that's a thing I remembered hearing how the Doctor Who theme was made.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is a beautiful little moment. But I remember the BBC Radiophonic Workshop was entirely responsible for like the entire soundtrack of Doctor Who, pretty much for its original run up until the reboot. And so the theme song is actually the sound.
Just go ahead and touch it. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing under that bed.
Yeah, no,
Nope.
You're good. You're gonna be
Nope,
great. You'll be
nothing there.
fine.
So I'm trying to. So I put up my fucking
you
sword to
go.
try and block it, and the game predicted I'd do that.
Yep.
But anyway,
It goes back under there.
yeah,
Yep.
no, it decides to be a bastard like all of them are.
This is where it lives now.
This is my home. My home is on the floor in this room. But the Doctor Who theme song, none of it. The intention was that none of it should be made by like actual instruments.
Yes.
So the backing sound, the actual like the actual backing sort of bass sound is the sound of a log hitting a piece of piano wire.
Nice.
And then the main melody section is just amplifier feedback.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Didn't
no,
know
it's
that.
actually really fascinating to look up the history of electronic music and what people were just deciding to do in the 50s and 60s with what they could.
Yeah.
Man,
And then
imagine tripping on this floor. All of your fingers go through the grating except for one that bends backwards.
Oh, James! You are the master of
Turns
uncomfortable
out
situations.
turns out the floor is actually sharp around the edges, and it like kind of catches your skin, and your arm goes through.
You dive to the ground as like a cheese grater.
Oh.
Well, mandolin slicer, I guess it'd be closer.
Have you guys ever like taken a shower and then like your nails were kind of soft afterwards and you started picking at them and then it got like a little too deep and then you had to kind of like but you're too far now, like you can't just let it sit because it's gonna be really bad, so you gotta finish it.
When that happens, I usually take a set of nail clippers and finish the job.
Have you guys ever stuck a toothpick underneath your
Matt and
toenail and
James
kicked a wall?
are banned from talking for the LP for the next minute. Till that shit says 3100, you're not allowed to talk. You're not
Honestly,
my dad.
I think that's a little bit of payback for what you did a couple of games ago.
What did I do a couple of games ago?
You definitely linked an image of like holes in skin
Yeah,
for funsies.
For fucking-
you
yeah.
asshole.
Fucking trypophobia, yeah.
Yeah, that
was...
one's still getting recognition in the psychology community.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet.
Trypophobia is a weird thing in that, like I'm really disturbed, like, I can understand being disturbed by, holes in, like, seeing somebody that has a bunch of holes in them, because that's unnatural. But trypophobia, like, the thing that people think is trypophobia is a fear that makes sense to me, because it's a really disturbing thing to see people with a lot of holes they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But then trypophobia, the idea of being afraid with anything that has a lot of holes in it, that seems more in line with sort of an irrational fear.
Not necessarily. Like, most phobias have at their roots some evolutionary fear. My personal theory is that trypophobia comes from a fear of hives.
Yeah, that is kind of how I've always seen it, and that's what it reminds me of, is of things burrowing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's one of the reasons it doesn't actually compel you to, like, go away. It just compels you to ensure there's nothing on you.
Yeah.
That's why you
I'm a
itch.
thief. I might act like one every now and then.
Take them all.
I thought
She's no thief.
itching was your body telling you that there were dead skin cells on top that it wanted you to remove.
Itching has a number of psychological meanings. Sometimes it's just
There
illusional
we go.
parasitosis.
Thus one's life turns to riches. Now the number in a book.
Also, that seems like too many lines.
It says something about price down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably keeps going.
Something.
There
it is.
Fate hath no price. But do people know this?
That is the correct number of lines.
Plain old vending machine.
Heather, you said you were not going to drink things from the other dimension.
If you were drinking anything sold in a place like this, though.
By the way,
Not that it came from or that it was here, that it was sold.
if you have an antique Spanish doubloon, it's probably not going to be accepted by a coin acceptor.
This is the other world, though.
Also, where do you get a soda for $0.25?
Jingle jangle. Drinks.
Also, that's not the right sound that should make.
There, that's more like it.
Also, man, that was a super wide mouth can, I realize
Yeah.
now.